Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start with this week. It's been absolutely insane from Monday morning until now.
That bad, huh? You look exhausted. What's been going on?
Well, Monday started with 3 back-to-back client meetings. The first one ran over by 45 minutes, which threw off my entire schedule for the day.
Ouch. I hate when that happens. Did you manage to catch up?
Not really. I had to skip lunch and work through the afternoon just to prepare for Tuesday's presentation. Then Tuesday morning, my laptop decided to crash right before the big pitch.
No way. What did you do?
I had to borrow someone's computer and redo half of my slides in 20 minutes. My hands were literally shaking during the presentation.
But you pulled it off, right? I heard the client loved it.
They did, thankfully. But then Wednesday hit me like a truck. Our social media campaign went viral, which sounds great, but it meant handling hundreds of inquiries and comments.
Wait, isn't that a good problem to have, though?
Sure, except our team wasn't prepared for that volume. I stayed until 9 that night responding to messages and coordinating with customer service.
9? That's brutal. And you still had Thursday and Friday to go.
Thursday was supposed to be my catch-up day, but then my boss scheduled an emergency budget review meeting. We spent 4 hours going through every line item.
4 hours? That sounds like torture.
It was mind-numbing. And then Friday, I had to train 2 new interns while also finishing my monthly report.
How are the interns? Are they picking things up quickly?
They're sweet, but you know how it is with training. Everything takes twice as long when you're explaining every step.
True. So, when did you actually finish your report?
Last night at 11, I was supposed to go to my friend's birthday dinner, but I had to cancel. I feel terrible about it.
She'll understand. You've been juggling way too much. Are you at least free this weekend?
I wish. I have to review contracts tomorrow morning and then prep for Monday's strategy meeting. But Sunday afternoon, I'm shutting off my phone and doing absolutely nothing.
Good. You deserve a break. Want to grab coffee Sunday evening? My treat.
That actually sounds perfect. I'll need to decompress and talk about something other than work.
Deal. And next week, let's see if we can help you manage your schedule better. You can't keep burning yourself out like this.
You're right. I need to learn to say no sometimes. It's just hard when everything feels urgent.
I get it, but your health matters too. We'll figure something out together.
Thanks. I really appreciate you listening. Just talking about it makes me feel a bit better.
Anytime. That's what friends are for. Now go home and get some rest.
You won't believe the week I've had. I'm exhausted, but also incredibly excited about everything that happened.
I can see it in your eyes. You've got that crazy creative energy going on. Tell me everything.
Monday kicked off with a sunrise shoot at the beach. I had to wake up at 4 in the morning to catch the golden hour.
4? That's dedication. Was it worth losing sleep over?
Absolutely. The light was incredible, and I got some stunning shots for a local tourism campaign. But here's where it gets interesting.
I'm listening. What happened next?
While I was packing up my equipment, a couple approached me and asked if I could photograph their surprise proposal happening right then and there.
Wait, like spontaneously? That must have been nerve-wracking.
It was intense. I had maybe 30 seconds to position myself and adjust my settings, but I captured the moment perfectly, and they were over the moon.
That's amazing. Did they hire you for their wedding?
Actually, yes, we're meeting next month to discuss packages. But Monday wasn't done with me yet. I had an afternoon session with a fashion designer who needed product shots.
Busy day. How did Tuesday compare?
Tuesday was editing day, which sounds relaxing, but I had over 800 photos to sort through and retouch. I barely moved from my desk.
800? How long does that take?
I worked from 8 in the morning until midnight with breaks only for food and coffee. My eyes were burning by the end.
That sounds brutal. Did you at least finish everything?
Most of it. Wednesday, I had a corporate event to cover downtown. It was a tech company's product launch with about 200 attendees.
Oh, those events can be tricky. Lots of networking and schmoozing, right?
Exactly. I had to be everywhere at once, capturing candid moments, stage presentations, and group photos. Plus, the lighting in that venue was terrible.
How did you handle that?
Brought extra lighting equipment and just kept adjusting throughout the night. It was like a puzzle, figuring out the best angles and settings for each moment.
Sounds like problem solving on the fly. What about Thursday?
Thursday morning, I had a family portrait session in the park. 3 generations, including a very energetic toddler who didn't want to sit still.
Oh no. Kids can be unpredictable during shoots.
Tell me about it. I spent half the session chasing him around with my camera, trying to capture natural smiles. But honestly, those candid shots turned out to be the family's favorites.
That's the mark of a great photographer, making the chaos work in your favor.
Thanks. That afternoon, I taught a workshop on portrait photography at the community center. 15 students, all different skill levels.
You're teaching now, too? When did that start?
Just this month. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. Sharing knowledge feels really rewarding, even though preparing the lesson plan took hours.
And Friday? Please tell me you had a later day.
Friday was actually packed. Morning shoot at a restaurant for their new menu, then an engagement session in the afternoon, and evening editing.
Do you ever stop working? When do you have time for yourself?
Honestly, when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work most of the time. But you're right, I need to schedule some downtime.
What about this weekend? Any plans?
Saturday, I'm covering a wedding, which will be a 12-hour day. But Sunday, I'm completely off. No camera, no editing, just relaxation.
Good. You've earned it after the week you described. Maybe we could catch a movie Sunday evening.
That sounds perfect. I need to remember what it's like to be on the other side of the camera for once.
I'm home. Finally. This week has been one of the toughest I've experienced in years.
Come sit down. I made dinner. You look completely drained. What happened at the hospital?
Where do I even begin? Monday started with a multi-vehicle accident. 6 patients came in simultaneously, all with varying degrees of injuries.
6 at once? That must have been chaotic.
It was controlled chaos. We had to prioritize who needed immediate attention. The most critical patient went straight to surgery, and we stabilized the others.
That sounds incredibly stressful. Were you able to take breaks?
Not really. By the time we got everyone settled, it was already past my lunch hour. Then we had a steady stream of walk-ins throughout the afternoon.
Did you at least get to leave on time?
I stayed 2 hours late because we were short-staffed. One of our nurses called in sick, and we couldn't leave patients unattended.
This is becoming too common. You're working yourself to exhaustion.
I know, but what choice do I have? Tuesday wasn't any better. We had a code blue first thing in the morning.
What's a code blue again? I always forget the terminology.
It means cardiac arrest. We had to perform CPR and use the defibrillator. Thankfully, we got the patient's heart beating again.
That must take an emotional toll on you.
It does, but you learn to compartmentalize. You have to stay focused and professional in the moment. The emotions hit later.
And they did hit later, didn't they?
Tuesday night, I came home and just cried. It was overwhelming. But Wednesday morning, I had to pull myself together and go back.
What was Wednesday like?
Wednesday, we had a pediatric case that really got to me. A little boy came in with a severe allergic reaction. His mother was terrified.
Is he okay now?
Yes, we administered epinephrine immediately and monitored him for several hours. He recovered well, but seeing a child struggle to breathe is something that never gets easier.
I can't imagine. You deal with so much every day.
Thursday brought its own challenges. We had an elderly patient with dementia who kept trying to remove her IV and leave the hospital.
That must be difficult to manage without restraining her.
Exactly. We had to constantly redirect her attention and reassure her. It requires patience and creativity, especially when we're already overwhelmed with other patients.
How many patients were you responsible for?
At one point Thursday afternoon, I was managing 8 patients simultaneously. That's way above the safe ratio, but again, we were understaffed.
This hospital needs to hire more people. You shouldn't have to work under these conditions.
I agree, but healthcare staffing is a nationwide problem. It's not going to change overnight. Friday was a bit calmer, thankfully.
Finally, some good news. What made Friday different?
We had adequate staff for once, and while we were busy, it was manageable. I actually got to take my full lunch break and sit down for 30 minutes.
That's sad that taking a lunch break counts as a victory.
Welcome to healthcare. But honestly, those small moments of normalcy make a big difference. I got to chat with colleagues and decompress a bit.
Are you working this weekend?
Just Saturday morning, a 6-hour shift. Then I'm off until Monday. I desperately need this time to recharge.
What do you want to do tomorrow after your shift?
Sleep. Then maybe we could watch a movie together? Something light and funny. I need to laugh and forget about work for a while.
Consider it done. And Sunday, let's go for a walk in the park. Fresh air and sunshine will do you good.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you for being so understanding and supportive. I couldn't do this job without you.
I need to vent about this week before my head explodes. Teaching is supposed to be rewarding, but this week tested every ounce of my patience.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. What happened? Is it the students?
It's everything. Monday started with finding out that 2 of my classes were being combined due to a teacher shortage.
Combined? How many students are we talking about?
38 teenagers in one classroom. 38! The room barely fits that many desks, and managing that many personalities is nearly impossible.
That sounds like a nightmare. How are you supposed to teach effectively?
Exactly my question. I spent Monday rearranging lesson plans and trying to figure out how to accommodate different learning styles and paces in such a large group.
Did the administration offer any support?
They said they're working on it, which basically means nothing will change anytime soon. Tuesday, I had parent-teacher conferences scheduled all afternoon.
How did those go?
Mixed bag. Some parents were wonderful and engaged. Others blamed me for their child's poor grades without acknowledging that their kid never does homework.
Classic. It's always the teacher's fault, never the student's lack of effort.
One mother actually yelled at me for 20 minutes about her son's B grade. A B! She said I was ruining his chances of getting into an Ivy League school.
You're kidding! That's completely unreasonable.
I wish I were kidding. After that meeting, I had to immediately go teach my evening class, still feeling rattled from the confrontation.
You have evening classes too? When do you actually rest?
Good question. Wednesday, I proctored standardized tests all day. 4 hours of watching students fill in bubbles while I couldn't do any of my actual work.
That sounds mind-numbingly boring.
It was. And Thursday, I had to grade all those tests plus 2 sets of essays. I stayed at school until 7.
7? Don't they pay you overtime for that?
Teachers don't get overtime. It's all part of the job, apparently.
But here's the thing that really frustrated me on Thursday.
What happened?
I caught 3 students cheating on an assignment. They had copied each other's work word for word, including the same spelling errors.
Wow, not even trying to hide it. What did you do?
I had to report it, which meant meetings with the students, their parents, and the principal. Each meeting took at least 30 minutes.
That's exhausting, dealing with discipline issues on top of everything else.
And the parents of 2 of those students tried to argue that their children didn't understand it was cheating. These are 16-year-olds, not kindergartners.
Come on, at 16, they know exactly what cheating is.
Of course they do. Friday, I had to create makeup assignments for those students and also prepare for next week's lessons on the Civil War.
How much prep time does a single lesson take?
For an engaging lesson with activities, primary sources, and discussion questions, about 3 hours per class period.
3 hours. And you teach how many classes?
5 different classes daily. You do the math. Obviously, I can't spend 3 hours on each one every day, but I try to make them as interesting as possible.
Why do you put so much pressure on yourself?
Because these kids deserve quality education. Most of them are genuinely interested in learning when the material is presented well.
That's admirable, but you're burning yourself out. What about your own life?
What life? Between teaching, grading, lesson planning, meetings, and professional development requirements, I barely have time to breathe.
You need to set boundaries. Can't you just use textbook lessons sometimes?
I could, but then I'd be doing a disservice to my students. Teaching is more than just reading from a book. It's about inspiring curiosity and critical thinking.
I respect that. I really do. But you look exhausted. When was the last time you did something fun?
Define fun. Does correcting grammar mistakes count?
That's my point exactly. This weekend, you're taking a break. No grading, no lesson planning. We're going to do something completely unrelated to school.
I have a pile of essays that need to be returned by Monday.
They can wait one extra day. Your mental health is more important. Come on, let's go to that new restaurant downtown tomorrow night.
You're right. I need to remember why I got into teaching in the first place. It wasn't to drown in paperwork and politics.
Exactly. You became a teacher because you love history and you love working with young people. Don't let the system crush that passion.
I'm so glad we could meet today. This week has been absolutely overwhelming, and I really need your perspective on everything that's happening.
Of course. That's what I'm here for. Let's start from the beginning. What made this week particularly challenging?
Monday morning, we had our first meeting with potential investors. I'd been preparing for weeks, but I was still incredibly nervous.
How did the pitch go? Did they seem interested in your business model?
They were interested, but they had tons of questions I wasn't fully prepared to answer. Questions about our 5-year projections, market penetration strategies, and competitor analysis.
Those are standard investor concerns. How did you handle them?
I answered what I could and promised to send detailed follow-up information by Wednesday, which meant I had to spend all Tuesday creating comprehensive financial models.
Creating financial projections takes time, especially when you're trying to be realistic, but also optimistic enough to attract investment.
Exactly. I worked with our accountant for 12 hours straight Tuesday, running different scenarios and crunching numbers until my brain hurt.
And did you meet the Wednesday deadline?
Barely. I sent the documents at 11:59 Wednesday night. But Wednesday also brought another crisis.
What kind of crisis?
Our lead developer gave notice. 2 weeks notice, right in the middle of developing our core product feature.
That's a significant setback. Do you know why they're leaving?
Better offer from a larger company.
I can't compete with their salary and benefits. It's one of the harsh realities of running a startup with limited funding.
Losing key team members is always difficult. How are you planning to handle the transition?
Thursday, I spent the entire day interviewing freelance developers and trying to convince our departing developer to stay on as a consultant.
That's smart thinking. Maintaining that relationship could be valuable. How did the interviews go?
Found two promising candidates, but they're both expensive. I'm trying to figure out if we can afford them without the investment money secured yet.
Classic startup catch-22. You need money to hire people, but you need people to build the product that will generate money.
Exactly. And Friday, we had a major bug in our beta version that affected about 30 of our test users.
How serious was the bug?
Serious enough that it made a key feature completely unusable. I had to personally reach out to every affected user, apologize, and assure them we were fixing it immediately.
Customer service at that level shows dedication. How did they respond?
Most were understanding, thankfully. A few were frustrated, which is totally valid. Our remaining developer worked overnight Friday to patch the issue.
Overnight? That's above and beyond. Make sure you're compensating your team appropriately for that kind of dedication.
I am, but I also feel guilty. I'm asking so much from everyone, and sometimes I wonder if we're all sacrificing too much for something that might not succeed.
Those doubts are normal. Every entrepreneur faces them. But let me ask you something. When you strip away all the stress and challenges, do you still believe in your product?
Absolutely. I know there's a real need for what we're building. I've seen how it helps people solve genuine problems.
Then that's your anchor. Hold on to that when everything else feels chaotic. Now, let's talk about work-life balance. Are you taking care of yourself?
Honestly, not really. This week, I averaged 5 hours of sleep per night. I'm living on coffee and adrenaline.
That's not sustainable. You can't build a successful company if you burn out. Have you been exercising, eating properly?
Exercise has fallen completely off my radar. Meals are mostly takeout, eaten at my desk while responding to emails.
This is important, so listen carefully. Your company's success depends on you being at your best. That means sleeping, eating well, and taking breaks.
I know you're right, but there aren't enough hours in the day. How did you manage when you were building your first company?
I didn't manage well, and I paid for it with health problems that set me back months. Learn from my mistakes. Schedule self-care like you'd schedule a meeting.
That's actually helpful advice. Maybe I should block off time for the gym and actually protect that time.
Exactly. And here's another thought. Can you delegate more? You don't have to personally handle every single task.
I'm trying, but I'm such a perfectionist. I worry that if I don't oversee everything, something will fall through the cracks.
That's a common trap for founders. But micromanaging everything will limit your company's growth and exhaust you. Trust your team.
You're absolutely right. I hired talented people. I need to let them do their jobs without hovering.
Good. Now, what's your plan for this weekend? Please tell me you're taking at least one full day off.
I was planning to catch up on administrative tasks, but you're making me reconsider that plan.
Reconsider it strongly. Take Saturday completely off. Do something that has nothing to do with work. Then Sunday, if you must work, limit it to 4 hours maximum.
4 hours sounds reasonable. Maybe I can actually visit my parents. I haven't seen them in 3 weeks.
Perfect. Family time will recharge you more than you realize. And remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
I'm sorry, I've been so absent this week. The restaurant has been absolutely insane, and I feel like I'm barely keeping my head above water.
I understand that you're busy, but we've barely talked in days.
I miss you. What's been happening?
Monday, we launched our new seasonal menu. It sounds exciting, but it means training the entire kitchen staff on 12 new dishes.
12! That's a lot. How long does it take to train everyone?
We did intensive training sessions Monday and Tuesday. I had to demonstrate each dish multiple times, explain the techniques, and then oversee everyone's practice attempts.
That must be exhausting. Are they getting the hang of it?
Most of them, yes, but one of our line cooks keeps overcooking the scallops, and another can't seem to master the sauce reduction for our signature lamb dish.
Can't you just reassign them to different stations?
Not really. We're already short-staffed, so everyone needs to be versatile and able to handle multiple dishes.
Short-staffed again. Didn't the owner promise to hire more people?
Promises don't translate to action. Wednesday night, we got hit with a rush of reservations. Every table was full, and the tickets kept coming.
Isn't that good for business, though?
It's great for business, but brutal on the kitchen. We were completely in the weeds. 3 appetizers got sent back because they took too long, and I had to personally remake them.
How late did you stay that night?
Didn't leave until 2 in the morning. We had to clean the entire kitchen, prep for Thursday, and I had to inventory our supplies.
2 in the morning, and you had to be back Thursday morning at 9?
For a meeting with our suppliers. Our food costs are climbing, and I had to negotiate better prices without compromising quality.
Did you get any sleep at all?
Maybe 4 hours. Then Thursday night, we had a private event, 50-person dinner with a fixed menu and very specific dietary restrictions.
That sounds complicated. How did it go?
It went well, but coordinating everything was a logistical nightmare. 3 people were gluten-free, 2 were vegan, 1 had severe nut allergies, and another was diabetic.
So basically you had to create multiple variations of each dish?
Exactly, and make sure there was absolutely no cross-contamination. One mistake with the nut allergy could literally kill someone.
That's intense pressure. No wonder you're stressed.
Friday was supposed to be calmer, but our head pastry chef called in sick. Guess who had to handle all the desserts?
You did the desserts on top of everything else?
Had no choice. We couldn't just not serve dessert to our customers. I spent Friday afternoon making tarts, creme brulee, and chocolate soufflés while also running the dinner service.
How is that even possible? You must have superhuman energy.
More like running on fumes and espresso. But here's the thing that really frustrated me this week.
What happened?
We got a 1-star review online. Someone complained that their steak was overcooked and the service was slow.
1 bad review among how many good ones?
Dozens of 5-star reviews. But this one negative review is eating at me. I keep replaying that night, trying to figure out what went wrong.
You can't please everyone. You know that, right?
Intellectually, yes. But when you pour your heart into every single dish, every negative comment feels personal.
I get it. Your work is art to you. But you need perspective. One unhappy customer doesn't define your restaurant or your skills as a chef.
I know. You're right. I know you're right. It's just hard to let it go when I take so much pride in what I do.
That pride is what makes you an incredible chef. But it's also what's driving you to exhaustion. When was the last time you had a full day off?
Honestly, I can't remember. Maybe 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks? That's not okay. You're going to burn out completely if you don't take breaks.
The restaurant needs me. If I'm not there, I worry everything will fall apart.
Or maybe, just maybe, your team is more capable than you give them credit for. You've trained them well.
I suppose you have a point. I do tend to be a bit of a control freak in the kitchen.
A bit? You're a complete perfectionist, which I love about you, but it's also your weakness.
Okay, so what do you suggest? How do I let go without feeling like I'm abandoning my responsibilities?
Start small. Take the Sunday off. Completely off. Put your sous chef in charge and trust them to handle it.
Sunday is one of our busiest days.
Exactly why it's a good test. If they can manage Sunday, they can manage anything. And you need to prove to yourself that the restaurant won't crumble without you.
That's terrifying and liberating at the same time.
Good. That means it's exactly what you need to do. And we're spending that Sunday together, doing absolutely nothing related to food or work.
What did you have in mind?
How about we drive to the coast, walk on the beach, have a picnic, watch the sunset? Just us, no distractions.
That actually sounds amazing. I'd forgotten what it's like to just relax and enjoy life outside the kitchen.
Then it's settled. Sunday is our day. No excuses, no emergencies. Your team can handle one day without you.
I'm on the verge of a complete breakdown. This week has pushed me to my absolute limit, and I don't know how much more I can handle.
Whoa, what's going on? I've never seen you this stressed. Talk to me.
Monday morning, I had to present my thesis proposal to the entire department. 20 professors and graduate students, critiquing every aspect of my research.
That sounds terrifying. How did it go?
Mixed feedback. Some professors loved my approach, but others tore apart my methodology and questioned my entire theoretical framework.
Ouch. That must have felt like a personal attack.
It did, even though I know it's part of the academic process. I spent all Monday afternoon and evening feeling like maybe I'm not cut out for this.
Come on, you're brilliant. You know that, right?
Brilliant people don't get their research methodology questioned by experts in the field. Tuesday, I had to meet with my advisor to discuss revisions to my proposal.
What did your advisor say?
She was actually more supportive than I expected. She said the criticism was normal and that I shouldn't take it personally, but she also gave me a list of changes I need to make.
How extensive are these changes?
Extensive enough that I'll be revising for the next 2 weeks at minimum. I have to add another literature review section, redesign my data collection methods, and strengthen my theoretical arguments.
That's a lot of work. Did you have other commitments this week, too?
Oh yes, because the universe has a sense of humor. Wednesday, I had to teach 2 undergraduate sections.
You're teaching on top of your own coursework and thesis. How is that even manageable?
It's not, really. Teaching is part of my funding package, so I don't have a choice. Wednesday morning's class was okay, but the afternoon section was a disaster.
What happened?
Half the students hadn't done the reading, and the ones who did couldn't grasp the basic concepts. I spent an hour trying to explain something that should have been straightforward.
Frustrating. Did they eventually get it?
Some of them, maybe, but I left that class feeling like a failure as both a student and a teacher. Thursday, I had 3 academic articles due for my seminar course.
3 articles? Like you had to write 3 articles?
No, I had to read and write critical responses to 3 different scholarly articles. Each response had to be at least 5 pages with citations.
5 pages each? That's 15 pages of writing in one night.
I pulled an all-nighter Wednesday to get them done, finished at 6 in the morning Thursday, slept for 2 hours, then went to class.
That's insane. You can't function on 2 hours of sleep.
Tell that to academia. Thursday afternoon, my professor returned our midterm papers with comments. Mine was covered in red ink.
What did the comments say?
Mostly constructive criticism about my argument structure and writing style, but seeing all that red ink was demoralizing after everything else this week.
You're being too hard on yourself. Criticism is how you improve.
I know that logically, but emotionally, I'm drained. Friday, I had a meeting with my research participants to schedule interviews.
Interviews for your thesis research?
Yes, I need to conduct 20 interviews for my qualitative study. Friday, I managed to schedule 8 of them, but coordinating everyone's availability was like solving a complex puzzle.
8 down, 12 to go. That's progress at least.
Sure, but each interview takes 2 hours to conduct, plus another 2 hours to transcribe and analyze. That's 32 hours of work just for the 8 interviews.
When are you supposed to fit all that in?
Good question. Between classes, teaching, reading, writing, and revising my proposal, I honestly don't know.
This seems unsustainable. Have you talked to anyone about reducing your course load or getting an extension?
Extensions make you look weak in academia, like you can't handle the pressure. I don't want my professors thinking I'm not serious about my research.
That's a toxic mentality. Your health and well-being matter more than academic posturing.
Fair point, but even academics need to eat and sleep. When was the last time you had a proper meal?
Define proper. I've been surviving on coffee, granola bars, and whatever I can grab between commitments.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're running yourself into the ground. What happens if you get sick? I can't afford to get sick. I'm already behind on everything.
Listen to yourself. You're one person, not a machine. This weekend, you need to rest. Actually rest, not catch up on work.
I have so much to do, though. Those proposal revisions won't write themselves.
The revisions will still be there Monday. Right now, you need to recharge before you completely crash. How about we order takeout tonight and watch a movie?
I really shouldn't. I should be working.
You've worked nonstop all week. A few hours of relaxation won't destroy your academic career. In fact, you'll probably work more efficiently if you're actually rested.
Maybe you're right. My brain feels like mush right now anyway. I probably couldn't write coherently if I tried.
Exactly. So let's order that takeout, watch something mindless, and you can start fresh tomorrow after a good night's sleep.
Fine. But just tonight. Tomorrow, I really do need to get back to work.
Deal. One night of rest is better than nothing. And maybe tomorrow we can make a schedule that builds in regular breaks so you don't hit this point again.
That would actually be helpful. I clearly can't manage my time effectively on my own.
You're managing as well as anyone could under these circumstances. Now, what kind of food sounds good?
I don't know how I survived this week. It was wedding season chaos on steroids, and I'm fairly certain I've aged 10 years in 7 days.
You look exhausted. Sit down and tell me what happened. Was it the Henderson wedding?
The Henderson wedding was just the beginning. Monday started with the bride calling me at 6 in the morning in complete panic mode.
6? What could possibly be wrong at 6 in the morning?
She decided she hated her flower arrangements. Hated them. 3 days before the wedding, and she wanted to completely redesign everything.
Please tell me you didn't actually redo all the flowers.
Of course I did. When a bride is having a meltdown, you fix the problem. I spent Monday morning calling every florist in the city trying to source different flowers.
Did you find what you wanted?
Eventually, but it cost an extra $2,000, which she didn't care about, but her father certainly did when I called him.
Awkward. How did that conversation go?
Let's just say I earned my mediator badge that day. Tuesday, I had site visits for 3 different weddings, all scheduled on the same day.
3 site visits? How did you manage that?
Very carefully timed driving between venues. First was a vineyard an hour outside the city at 9, then a downtown hotel at noon, and finally a garden venue at 3.
That's a lot of driving. Any major issues at the venues?
The vineyard was gorgeous, no problems there. The downtown hotel had double booked their ballroom, which I discovered during my walkthrough.
They double booked a wedding venue? How is that even possible?
Human error, apparently. I spent an hour on the phone with their events manager, sorting it out and making sure my client's wedding would still happen as planned.
Crisis averted. What about the garden venue?
The garden was beautiful, but they had failed to mention that there's major construction happening next door, jackhammers and cement trucks during a romantic outdoor ceremony.
No way! What did you do?
Convinced the couple to move the ceremony time to evening when construction stops. They weren't thrilled, but it was better than the alternative.
Wednesday must have been calmer, right?
Wednesday was the bachelor party coordination. The groom's best man kept changing his mind about activities, and I had to book, cancel, and rebook venues multiple times.
Why were you handling bachelor party planning? Isn't that the best man's job?
Normally, yes, but this particular best man is completely disorganized. The groom asked me to help, and I couldn't say no.
You're too nice. So what did they end up doing?
Brewery tour followed by a private dinner at a steakhouse. Simple enough. Except the steakhouse had a kitchen fire Wednesday afternoon.
Of course they did. Did you have to find a new restaurant?
Found one with 45 minutes to spare before the party arrived. The new place actually worked out better, but those 45 minutes took years off my life.
Thursday was the actual Henderson wedding, right?
Thursday was rehearsal and rehearsal dinner. Friday was the actual wedding. Both days were complete marathons.
Walk me through it. What made them so intense?
Thursday rehearsal, the groom's mother and bride's mother got into an argument about processional order. I had to diplomatically navigate family politics while keeping everyone on schedule.
Yikes. Whose side were you on?
Nobody's side. Switzerland all the way. I just focused on what would make the ceremony run smoothly and look beautiful.
Good strategy. Did they eventually agree?
After 30 minutes of discussion, yes. Then the rehearsal dinner had seating issues because two guests who hate each other were placed at the same table.
Who handles the seating chart?
Usually the couple, but sometimes they miss these dynamics. I quietly rearranged people during cocktail hour and avoided what could have been an ugly scene.
You're basically a professional problem solver. What about Friday?
Friday morning started at 5. I had to oversee setup at the venue, coordinate with vendors, and handle last-minute emergencies.
What kind of emergencies?
The DJ's equipment was stuck in traffic. The cake arrived with a damaged tier. When bridesmaid's dress zipper broke, the list goes on.
How did you fix all of that?
Called in favors, improvised solutions, and stayed remarkably calm on the outside while internally screaming. The DJ arrived just in time. The baker came early and repaired the cake tier on site.
And the dress zipper?
Safety pins and strategic flower placement. You'd never know there was a problem. The wedding itself went off beautifully, thankfully.
So it was all worth it in the end.
Seeing the bride's face during the ceremony always makes it worth it. But the day didn't end when the wedding ended. I stayed until midnight supervising breakdown and making sure every vendor was paid.
Midnight? That's a 19-hour day.
Welcome to wedding planning. Saturday, I had another smaller wedding to coordinate.
Please tell me Saturday was easier.
It was a smaller, more intimate affair, only 75 guests. But intimate doesn't mean drama-free.
What happened?
The officiant got food poisoning Saturday morning, had to find a replacement officiant who could perform the ceremony in 4 hours.
How do you even do that?
I keep a list of backup officiants for exactly these situations, called 3 people before finding someone available. They arrived, read through the ceremony script once, and performed it perfectly.
You're incredibly resourceful, but you must be completely depleted.
I am. Today's the first day in weeks that I don't have a wedding or major event. I'm supposed to be using today to catch up on planning for upcoming weddings.
No. Today you're resting, doctor's orders.
You're not a doctor.
Best friend's orders, then. You've been running on adrenaline and caffeine all week. You need actual rest or you'll collapse during next week's weddings.
I make a valid point. I do have 3 more weddings next weekend.
Exactly. So today we're having a relaxing brunch, maybe get massages, and you're not checking your email every 5 minutes.
I'm not that bad.
You've checked it twice since we started talking.
Okay, fine. I might have a problem. But what if a client needs something urgently?
Then they can wait 4 hours. The wedding industry won't collapse because you took a mini self-care day. Your phone will be there when you're done.
All right, I'll try. But if we could schedule that massage for this afternoon, I'd really appreciate it.
Already done. I booked us both appointments when I saw how stressed you were this week. Massages at 2, and then we're getting a nice dinner somewhere you don't have to coordinate anything.
This week has been the most intense I've experienced since making Partner. I'm exhausted, but also kind of exhilarated by everything that happened.
I heard you landed the Morrison account. Congratulations. That's huge for the firm. How did you manage to close that deal?
Monday was the final pitch meeting. I prepared for weeks, anticipated every possible question, and rehearsed my presentation about 50 times.
50 times? That's dedication. Did all that preparation pay off?
It did. The Morrison executives were impressed with our proposal, especially the section on intellectual property protection strategies. They signed Tuesday morning.
That's incredible. But I'm guessing that victory came with immediate new responsibilities.
You guessed correctly. Tuesday afternoon, I had to assemble a legal team to handle their case. I needed specialists in patent law, contract negotiation, and international trade regulations.
Those specialists don't come cheap. Did you get approval for the budget?
After a tense meeting with the senior partners, yes, they recognized the long-term value of the Morrison account and approved my team selection.
Lucky break. So Wednesday, you started on the actual casework.
Wednesday, we had our team kickoff meeting. I presented the case overview, delegated research assignments, and established our aggressive timeline.
Aggressive how?
The client needs preliminary findings in 3 weeks. For a case this complex, that's lightning fast. My team looked at me like I'd lost my mind.
Can it even be done in 3 weeks?
It has to be. I've committed to it, and failure isn't an option. Wednesday afternoon, I started reviewing thousands of pages of documents the client provided.
Thousands? How long did that take?
I'm still not finished. I worked until 11 Wednesday night and took home more documents to review. Thursday morning, I was back in the office at 7.
7? What happened Thursday?
Thursday, we had a major development. One of our researchers discovered a precedent case that could significantly impact our strategy.
Good development or bad?
Good, but it meant revising our entire approach. I spent Thursday in strategy meetings, rewriting sections of our brief, and coordinating with outside counsel.
Outside counsel, too. This case really is massive.
The biggest of my career.
Thursday evening, you had a conference call with the Morrison executives to update them on your progress. How did they react to the strategy changes?
Initially concerned, but once I explained the reasoning and potential benefits, they were on board. The call lasted 2 hours and covered every aspect of the case.
2-hour call after a full day of work? You must have been mentally drained.
Completely. But Friday brought even more challenges. We discovered potential conflicts of interest that needed immediate attention.
What kind of conflicts?
One of the opposing counsel was a former colleague from my previous firm. We needed to determine if this created any ethical issues.
Did it?
After consulting with our ethics committee and reviewing Bar Association guidelines, we determined it was acceptable to proceed, but we needed to inform the client.
I bet that was a fun conversation. How did Morrison react?
They appreciated our transparency and diligence. It actually strengthened their confidence in our firm. Friday afternoon, I had to review and approve my team's preliminary research.
Any surprises in the research?
A few findings I hadn't anticipated. Some strengthen our position, others complicate matters. I spent Friday evening analyzing the implications of each discovery.
It sounds like this case is consuming your entire life. Are you getting any sleep?
Maybe 5 hours a night. I know that's not sustainable, but right now, I'm running on adrenaline and the excitement of working on something this significant.
I get the excitement, but be careful. Burnout is real, and I've seen talented lawyers crash hard when they push too far.
I appreciate the concern, but this is the opportunity I've been working toward for years. I can't let up now.
Just promise me you'll take at least Sunday off. Complete radio silence from work.
I can't promise that. There's too much at stake and too many deadlines approaching.
That's exactly my point. You need to maintain perspective. This case is important, but it's not worth destroying your health over.
You sound like my mother. She called Wednesday night and barely recognized my voice because I was so exhausted.
Maybe your mother has a point. Look, I'm competitive as hell, and I want to succeed just as much as you do. But I've learned that sustainable success requires balance.
Easy to say when you're not carrying a case this big. The pressure is immense.
I'm not diminishing that. I'm saying that if you burn out 3 weeks from now, you won't be able to deliver the results Morrison needs.
That's a fair argument. What do you suggest?
Delegate more to your team. That's why you have specialists, right? Trust them to handle their portions while you focus on overall strategy and client management.
I do trust them, but I also feel responsible for every detail. If something goes wrong, it reflects on me as the lead partner.
True, but micromanaging everything guarantees you'll be too exhausted to think strategically when it matters most. Your team is capable. Let them prove it.
You're making sense, which is annoying because I really wanted to spend this weekend buried in case files.
Spend Saturday reviewing essential materials if you must, but Sunday do something completely unrelated to law. See friends, go hiking, read a novel. Give your brain a break.
A novel sounds nice, actually. I haven't read fiction in months.
See, you're already remembering there's life outside this case. That's healthy.
Okay, deal. Saturday I will work, but Sunday I'll disconnect. But if this strategy backfires and I'm unprepared Monday, I'm blaming you.
I'll accept that responsibility. Now, let's grab lunch. You need to eat something that isn't vending machine snacks.
How did you know I've been living on vending machine food?
Because I've been there. Come on, there's a great Thai place around the corner, my treat, and we're not discussing the Morrison case at all.
Not discussing work at lunch? That might be the hardest challenge you've given me all week.
I don't think I can keep up this pace much longer. I love my job, I really do. But this week has shown me I'm not invincible.
What happened? Last time we talked, everything seemed great. You were excited about expanding your classes.
That expansion is exactly what's killing me. Monday, I taught 3 classes. 6:30 morning boot camp, noon yoga session, and 6 evening spin class.
3 classes in one day? That's a lot of physical exertion.
It's not just the physical part, though that's exhausting. It's also the emotional energy of motivating people, correcting their form, and keeping everyone engaged.
I never thought about the emotional aspect. I just assumed you loved working out all day.
I do love it, but there's a difference between working out for yourself and leading others through workouts while maintaining constant enthusiasm.
Fair point. So Monday was 3 classes. What about Tuesday?
Tuesday, I had 4 classes plus 2 personal training sessions. My first class started at 5:30 in the morning.
5:30? What time did you have to wake up?
4:15 to get to the gym, set up equipment, and review my class plan. The early morning class is popular with people who work 9-to-5 jobs.
That's dedication from both you and them. How do you stay energetic that early?
Lots of coffee and sheer willpower. Tuesday afternoon, I had back-to-back personal training clients. One is training for a marathon, the other is recovering from knee surgery.
Those sound like completely different training needs.
Exactly. I have to completely shift mindsets between clients. The marathon trainer needs high-intensity interval work. The rehab client needs gentle, targeted exercises.
That sounds mentally taxing, constantly switching approaches.
It is. And Tuesday evening, I taught a high-intensity interval training class that nearly broke me. I pushed my students hard, but I also had to demonstrate every exercise.
You participate in every class while teaching? No wonder you're exhausted.
Wednesday was supposed to be lighter, but the gym asked me to cover for an instructor who called in sick. Suddenly, I had 5 classes scheduled.
5? Did you even consider saying no?
I should have, but I'm trying to prove myself as a reliable instructor. Plus, I need the income. Each class pays separately.
Income matters, but so does your health. What happened Wednesday?
By my fourth class, I was running on fumes. My demonstrations got sloppier, and I could feel myself losing the energy that usually drives my teaching.
Did anyone notice?
One regular student asked if I was feeling okay. I brushed it off, said I was fine, but clearly I wasn't hiding my exhaustion well.
That's concerning. Did you at least rest Wednesday evening?
I went home, collapsed on the couch, and woke up 3 hours later, still in my gym clothes. Then I had to force myself to eat something and prep for Thursday.
What made Thursday special?
Thursday morning, I was training a new client. First session, so I had to assess their fitness level, understand their goals, and create a customized program.
How long does that assessment process take?
About 90 minutes for a thorough first session. This particular client has specific weight loss goals and some previous injuries I needed to work around.
Sounds complex. Did the session go well?
It went great, actually. We connected well, and they signed up for a 12-session package. That's good for business.
But
Thursday afternoon, during my cycling class, I felt dizzy and had to sit down mid-class. Had to have my assistant instructor take over for 10 minutes.
that's serious. Did you see a doctor?
No, I convinced myself it was just dehydration. Drank water, recovered, and finished teaching the class.
You're being reckless. Dizziness during intense exercise could indicate something serious.
I know. Friday was the wake-up call I needed. I was teaching a morning strength training class when my vision started blurring.
Please tell me you stopped and went to urgent care.
I did. Left my class with another instructor and went straight to urgent care. The doctor said I'm severely overtrained and on the verge of complete exhaustion.
What exactly does overtrained mean?
It means my body hasn't had adequate recovery time between intense physical activities. My cortisol levels are elevated and I'm at risk for injury and illness.
What did the doctor recommend?
Mandatory rest for at least a week. No teaching, minimal exercise, focus on sleep and nutrition. He was pretty stern about it.
Good. You need to listen to him. Your body is literally forcing you to slow down.
But I have classes scheduled all next week. People are counting on me. The gym needs me.
The gym can find substitute instructors. Your health is more important than any class schedule. What happens if you collapse during a session?
I've been thinking about that. It would be worse for my reputation and the gym if I actually get seriously hurt.
Exactly. Taking a week off to recover properly is smarter than pushing through and potentially causing long-term damage.
You're right. I called my gym manager Friday afternoon and explained the situation. He was actually understanding.
See? The world doesn't fall apart when you prioritize your well-being. What's your plan for the next week?
Sleep. Lots of sleep. The doctor said I should aim for 9 hours a night. I can't remember the last time I slept that much.
Good start. What about during the day?
Light walking, maybe some gentle stretching. Nothing intense. I'm supposed to focus on recovery activities like foam rolling and mobility work.
That sounds reasonable. Are you going to be okay financially taking this week off?
It'll be tight, but I have some savings. And honestly, if I don't rest now, I might end up unable to work for much longer.
Smart thinking. This is an investment in your future career. You can't be a fitness instructor if you destroy your own fitness.
The irony is not lost on me. I'm always preaching rest and recovery to my clients, but I wasn't following my own advice.
We all do that sometimes. The important thing is you're recognizing it now and making changes. What about long term? Can you maintain a schedule like you've been doing?
No, definitely not. I need to have a serious conversation with the gym about my class load and maybe cut back to a sustainable number.
How many classes per week do you think is sustainable?
Maybe 12 to 15 instead of 25. That would give me proper recovery time and also allow me to put more energy into each class.
Quality over quantity. Your students will appreciate having an instructor who's fully present rather than half exhausted.
You're absolutely right.
And maybe I can supplement my income with online coaching or creating workout programs I can sell digitally.
That's a great idea. You could reach more people without the physical toll of teaching every class in person.
I've been thinking about it for a while, but never had time to pursue it. Maybe this forced break is the universe telling me to diversify.
I like that perspective, turning this challenge into an opportunity. That's growth.
Thanks for listening and being supportive instead of judging me for running myself into the ground.
That's what family is for. Now, let's get you home so you can start this recovery properly. And I'm cooking you a proper meal tonight.
You don't have to do that.
I know I don't have to. I want to. You've been living on protein shakes and energy bars. You need real food.
Okay, I won't argue with that. What are you making?
Something nutritious and delicious. And while we eat, you're going to tell me about these online coaching ideas so we can start planning your new business model.
Deal. I'm actually getting excited about this new direction. Maybe burning out was the best thing that could have happened.
Let's not go that far, but I'm glad you're finding the silver lining. Now, come on, Chef's sister is waiting.